You're welcome to Gorgeous Show. It's Reverend Ruth Wamoyo again, and as always, joined by gorgeous women like you and I. I believe you're gorgeous because you have a story that you can share. You can help another woman to sail through and navigate through challenges of life without feeling like they're left alone. What a joy for you to join us. Thank you so much for always giving your comments. We appreciate your feedback. Keep bringing your feedback. We truly appreciate. And today I'm joined by a wonderful, beautiful guest who has an amazing story. You can't afford to miss it. She's none other but Maggie. We're looking at her. She looks marvelous. She looks gorgeous. Karibu sana to Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah, kindly introduce yourself to us. Who is she?
My name is Maggie Ndungu.
Yeah.
I'm the fifth born of to Peter Ndungu and Jane, the late Jane Wanjiko.
Yes.
And I'm happy to be here on this show.
Great. Karibu, karibu sana. Yeah, so you've been watching The Gorgeous?
Yes, I have. Oh. I've heard about it a lot. Yes.
Ah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So tell us, where did you grow up? What was your childhood like?
Yes, my childhood, I come from a family of 9 children. So
9? I think we are a team also. So I think my family and you would have had very successful football matches.
Oh, yes.
Because we were actually 9. Maybe we would have outsourced maybe 2 from others.
Very much so.
Great.
Yes, so childhood was great. We are 8 girls and 1 boy. So there was a lot of playing around and, creative things that girls do. And of course, as we grew up, we had a brother and we spoiled him so much.
Oh, how old is he?
He's 30 now.
He's 30? Oh, yes, my goodness. Still getting spoiled.
And still getting spoiled.
He must enjoy life.
He loves it. Yeah. He loves it. So yeah, childhood was great. Coming from a background of loving parents. My late mom, she was wonderful. Did so much for us. Truly appreciate my parents. My dad, to date, he's a great man.
Amen.
And he still gives us the love and attention that we all need. Yeah. And he's a good man.
Great.
And I thank God for him.
Yes. So where did you go to school?
I went to school to Visoroshwa. I also left here to go and do my studies back abroad. Yeah. So primary school, then I went off to Germany.
After primary school?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
And so most of my life I've been out in Europe, so Germany and in the UK.
So in your high school you went to Germany? So you live here and go to Germany. I believe you're maybe 12, 13.
Yes.
Hey, this is a story we need to listen to because I can imagine the culture shock, the language, the many, the challenges of being a teenager. And our viewer, that is just a preview of the great stories that we are just about to hear from this wonderful lady. And we are going to talk about what do you do when money fails? What do you do when money fails? Or probably when ideas of business are not working out as you desire, they would work out. When you open a business and you realize it was a big mistake, what do you do? When you go to a foreign country, you struggle for so long and then come back to the country and realize where I left the country is no longer where it is. And that is the preview of our guest. And we are going to talk about it. Don't touch that dial. The story is great and it's just for you and me. My viewer, what a joy to have you. We appreciate your feedback on the SMS line on your screen, and you can write to us on our FB pages. You can even go on my personal page, it's there, and keep watching and bring your comment. And also we'd encourage you, if you know a gorgeous woman that has a great story, we appreciate you recommending her to us. You can inbox us and would love to have you in the show. Reverend Ruth Wamoyo is my name. Karibu sana. After the break, we'll see you. Welcome back, our viewer. It's Gorgeous Show. Reverend Ruth Wamoyo is my name, and I'm having a guest, none other but Maggie Ndungu, an entrepreneur, and her business is called M&R UK Goods Outlet, and that can give you a hint of where we are going and where we are coming from. So before the break, you told us that after you finished your primary school, that your parents found you a place in Germany.
Yes.
Oh, kindly tell us about that transition.
It wasn't easy. First and foremost, I am young. and in a foreign country. And back then in Germany, English was an issue.
Let me begin by asking, why Germany?
We had a link to that place at that time.
Yeah.
So we were just trying out if something would work, and so that is how I ended up there.
Did you have a desire to go to a foreign country?
Yes.
Or who proposed it? Because I believe at probably the age, unless probably you're exposed differently, most children mostly would not, at that age, would not be thinking of Germany. They would be thinking maybe of how to grow up and mingle around.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a connection that was there between my parents and the family that was there.
Ah, great.
So that is how I ended up there. And like I was saying, it wasn't easy being so young, so vulnerable, not being with my parents, and going into a foreign country whereby they don't even speak English. At that time, English was kind of unheard of in such countries.
Yeah.
And even if they knew, you wouldn't necessarily want to get into a conversation with them because there was that you're not welcome feeling.
Oh, yeah.
So,
and of course, their English is also scanty. Yours is also, even if it's good, you're still not confident because you're young.
Very much so, yeah. So, at one time, I actually thought of coming back home. Because several people were, there was a group of Kenyans who were there, and some of them even came back. And so at one time I actually thought I'll go back, it's not working, getting into school is a problem, because there was that, like I said, feeling of not being too welcome.
So did you learn German, or like I've been there and it's never easy to communicate even now?
Yes.
And you're trying to tell somebody this is what I'm saying, and they can't understand. Or did you go to an English speaking school?
No, I didn't go. And that is the reason why I didn't enroll in the school for a few years. Yeah. Because it was almost an impossible thing.
Yes.
Remember, when you're learning foreign languages, you're better off when you're a child.
Oh,
when you grow older, and especially going back into school, where will you start? Everything is taught in German. So how do you learn maths? Yeah. How do you learn science? Everything is being taught in German.
Yes.
So first and foremost is to learn the language, which I attempted, but it was very difficult. And so settling there was... You
said attempted.
Yes, attempted. Attempted several times, but it's not an easy language to learn.
Yes, it's not.
Yes. So instead of settling there, we decided that I'm better off going to the UK. So
what were you doing within these several years that you were trying to figure out how to go about it?
Pretty much nothing. I was trying to learn the language. With the help of the family I was living with, but they were also not very old there, so it's like more or less we were both trying to settle. Yeah. And of course, being so young, I couldn't do any other work. Yes. So just stayed with the family as we looked for an alternative. Okay. And that is when 2 years later I managed to go to the UK. Okay. And life there was more or less like home. Yes. That's when I knew things would work. At least I found a place where I could communicate, because it all starts with communication. Yes, it does. Yeah. Yeah, to feel welcome and to feel like you belong. Exactly. So you, when you go to the UK, you went alone? I went alone. So first and foremost, I couldn't also go straight to school, because at that point there was so much I had to, fund myself, or additional to what I was getting from here. And so at that time, I was already 17, so I could do part-time jobs. Oh yeah, that's better. Yes, I would do part-time jobs. And of course, the moment you start earning, getting some money and feeling comfortable, you want to settle. Yes, you can't be, unfortunately in those countries, you can't be a burden to people for too long. Yes. And especially if they're not family. So, so yeah, first was to kind of try and settle, and then education came after. So how did you survive? How did you overcome the disappointment, the frustration for all those years? What kept you going, stuck in the house? It was difficult. And like I said many times, I did want to come back. But one thing I always, the sort of a person I am, I don't like to let go and to, make it easy for myself by giving up. I always try. I try to try, several times.
Wow.
Being optimistic that things would work out.
Yeah.
So I worked. Not a lot of money I was getting because I was doing part-time. But obviously that little money was helping me to settle down.
Oh, yes.
Buy food and accommodation and transport to work. And then after that, I went on to part-time. So when going part-time, then at least you can see where the money is going.
Yes, at least.
Yes, you can see, you're doing something. And at that time, obviously, I started, wanting to go back to school. And I would go work at night and go to school during the day.
Oh, goodness.
Yes.
Wow, that must have been tough.
It is tough, but then again, that's what everybody does there, who comes from this sort of background.
Yes.
You cannot settle for one job. Even if you're not going to school, you have to do like 2 jobs.
2 jobs, how many hours?
You could do like a 9-hour shift during the day and maybe a 9-hour shift during the night.
And you have 18 hours.
Yes.
So when do you sleep? When do you go to school?
That is if you're not going to school. If you're not going to school.
Yeah.
But if you're going to school, most people work at night and then go to school during the day.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And at 17, you had the ability, you were sensible enough to know that I need to go to school and I need to work.
Exactly.
How nice.
Unfortunately, that is a system there. It's not a choice.
It's not a choice.
It is not a choice. Because what do? Sure. You went there to get a better life. You cannot be comfortable and say, you're not going to do anything about it. And unfortunately, even those who don't go to school have to do 2 jobs.
Okay.
Because you have a life there.
Yes.
And the reason why you went to that lifestyle is to also be able to do something back home.
It is true.
So you need 2 jobs. One to factor in the expenses on that end.
One to pay your bills.
Exactly.
And the other one to invest.
Exactly. And if you don't do that, then unfortunately you'll be lost and not do anything back home.
And I believe in that land, as you are saying, you really have to work hard. Yes. But there are also probably challenges that are not like the challenges we have here. So how did you cope with the peer pressure? Because at that time you're a teenager, exposed to drugs, exposed to alcohol. How did you get such temptations and how did you overcome them?
Of course they are there.
Yes.
They surround you actually because everything there is affordable.
Yes, it is.
You could easily afford the drugs, you could afford the alcohol.
Yes.
They are there and they're right outside your doorstep. But again, it all comes back to morals.
Yes.
And it also comes back to what you want to achieve in life.
Yes.
I will not lie that I haven't seen our people go down that road. There are many, even adults.
Yes.
But I think it's a choice is one mix.
And also I think the way you were brought up.
Exactly.
Yeah, the way you were brought up. Do you think, do you feel your parents were part of who you were? What did they do that made you feel like you're confident at 13, at 17 to live on your own? What are the virtues they instilled in you?
I think one of the things is that they believed in me too. They believed that I could do it. Because like I said, we are many of us, but they could see that I had the potential. I really don't know what they saw in me, but I think they also had trust.
They saw what we see. We can see you're a go-getter.
I don't know what they saw, but my parents have always been hardworking, always been in business, and I think I'm one person who takes after them.
Oh, great!
Because even as much as I was employed there, I never felt that this is where I belonged. My mom has always been in business. My dad, I have never known them do anything else. And both of them have been very successful.
Great.
So maybe it's that thing that was pushing me to go there.
Great.
I probably think that's what they had seen in me.
Great. So let me take you back. I'm looking at you now, packing your bags, going to the airport.
Yes.
What are the kind of lectures you are giving? Now that you're leaving home, I believe aunties came, people came. What are the kind of, what do you call it, kerera? Like what were you told?
A lot.
Maybe give us a preview of what you got before we go for the break.
Unfortunately, a lot of them were like in and out thing because I was super excited to go. But I remember those were the days when airports used to be, it's another village.
Yes, so where the family used to go, all of you, and there you even used to be a waving bay.
Yes.
Where did it go? I think it's no longer there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What a change. When I came back, it was all gone.
It was all gone. Yes. And they used to wait until the aircraft.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, they did give me a lot of advice, especially being young and also going to a land whereby people believe that life there is not straight. There was this big thing that everyone talked about, that nobody goes there and comes back.
Oh, yeah.
Right? They believed in some things that personally I've never seen.
Yeah.
But they
what are
those
things that you've never, that were outrageous?
Yes, they were saying that African girls are taken there and they are used by men there as slaves.
Yes.
Right? And I actually had a bit of fear. Because like everyone was talking about it.
Yeah.
And that was the worst.
Yeah.
But there was many others.
Okay, I can imagine. And that time it was not like in the era of social media.
Exactly.
Or Google, where you can actually go and Google and know what is there.
Yes.
So you were actually going to a land, most of them is what they had had. It was actually village gossip, we could call it, because very few had experience. And if you happen to find somebody that has experienced it, they are the kind they were saying they get stuck there.
Yes.
But now here you are.
Here I am.
We bless the Lord for you. So you're in Britain. Now you would decide to go back to school.
I go to school. At the same time, I'm going to work. Not easy at all, because half of the time you'll be caught sleeping at night, you're dozing off because you're tired from work. But all in all, it all goes well. Both sides I work and I finish school and and it becomes the same thing. So
great.
So life goes on, working and home. Unfortunately there, because there are no, like house helps, what we call here, domestic workers.
Yes.
So you have to live that life of work and home. There isn't a lot of social life in between.
Oh, yeah.
So where you left your cup in the morning, you have to go back home, find it there, clean up, do all that, go back to work again. So basically you just have time to sleep, cook, go back to work.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Wow, our viewer is getting better. As this story unfolds, make sure you don't touch that dial. The Bible talks about the Proverbs 31 woman, and when I'm listening to her, I can imagine that she goes out overseas and goes and gets, goods. She takes care of her children. She takes care of her family. And that is the kind of ideal Proverbs 31 woman who is hardworking, buys lands, does all kinds of things. And I believe as a gorgeous woman, hard work is one of the virtue and one of the quality that we should all uphold. And as we have this discussion, remember, if you have a story that you want to share with us, we truly appreciate. Whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you are separated in a relationship, whatever kind of thing you're passing through, at Gorgeous, you're welcome, and you can encourage a woman there and tell them it can be done. We take a break and come back as we listen to Maggie Ndungu's story. Welcome back to Gorgeous Show. Wow, it's getting better and deeper as we hear the story of Maggie Ndungu. And her story is amazing. It's from Kenya, from a young age, go to Germany. She's in the UK now, a student and still working. So carry us through that journey.
Yes.
Sleeping in class, sleeping at work at times.
Yes.
So did you perform well in your academics?
Yes, I did. I did. Yes, I did. Then obviously it was a life of work, because at one time I realized I better work now that I'm young because I'll need to go home. And by then we were not very many Kenyans. So everybody was just kind of working. There was like a competition for work. There were
a lot of jobs as well.
Yes, there were a lot of jobs. There were not very many regulations like they are today. Opportunities were there. And the money was good. It was there because obviously the jobs are there.
Yeah.
And come back and investing back home. So that is what it was all about.
Yeah.
In the process, obviously I had my children. So it was now the other way around. It is home, family and work. Family, raising the children and work.
How many children?
I have 3 children.
You've got them in the UK?
They're in the UK.
Can you take us through this journey of being a mother in the UK? Leave alone everything else.
Yes.
So that probably you can encourage a mother that is watching us and probably feel that motherhood is hard. In Kenya, we have domestic managers. So at least I can have a manager managing my house as I'm busy doing my work. Kindly take us through that journey. How was it?
It was crazy.
Yes.
Very tiring.
Crazy is a description.
Yes, it was. It's a blessing to have the children, but one has to be prepared to be exhausted all the time.
Yes.
Because like again, we don't have domestic workers. So this is me doing a night shift. And I'll come back during the day. The father is gone off for a day shift. So basically you're exchanging by the door, at the door. I'm coming in and he's going out. Because children there, they can never be left on their own. It is against the law to leave children
and actually
on their
it is not right to leave them alone.
Yes, not even for those 5 minutes.
Not even for 5 minutes.
Not even for 5 minutes. And obviously, you know, when they're so young, having to prepare them to go to school, obviously others are still at home, and doing all the housework that one has to do. The good thing with there, even back then, you were able to afford washing machines, you know, all these domestic appliances that make your work easier. And personally, I always believe in investing in them because they make your life easier.
Great.
And if it was not for those machines, I don't know if we would be having bags. Moms in the UK would never be having proper bag.
Yeah, because of bending and washing clothes and all that.
Exactly. And also, you know, continuous working during the day and during the night. So these appliances, at least they made my life easier. Then at some point, if the children are asleep, that's when we will go to sleep, maybe 2-3 hours, you know. Then again, wake up and go and pick the one who is in school. Again, they have to be picked. Children there don't walk home on their own, even if you live next to the school, which I was in that case, but you still have to wake up, go get them when they come back.
You can't walk? Can you walk with them?
You can walk with them, but they can't come home on their own. Even if it is next to the school, they cannot.
You have to pick them.
You have to pick them. You know, then come back home, start cooking and feeding them, bathing them, the works that never end.
Yes.
And then again prepare in the evening to go to work. And I would do that maybe 6 nights in a week. 6 nights? 6 nights in a week.
Just to keep things going.
Exactly.
And of course when the children come, the bills, also like electricity bills and everything goes up.
Yes.
So what psychologically and emotionally, how is it like when you're a mother working, you know, do you feel like you have the me time or you feel like you said exhausted? What are the feelings that are attached to it?
You never have a me time.
Oh, wow.
That one is there. You never have it because one of the things is if you're working full time, you're needed to work at least 40 hours a week.
Wow.
Yes. So during the weekends, you're with the children.
Yes,
when you could at least say I'm
relaxing.
And
that's a full-time job.
It's full-time job.
Yeah.
Then the kids there, you have to have activities. You cannot just have kids and keep them in the house. You have to go and do outdoor activities with them. You know, there's always so much to do with the children there. Even for them to fit in that society, because that's the way it is.
Yes.
It's a kind of a very family-orientated environment. Families are always together. You're always with your children.
Wow.
So you'll find even in the weekends when you would be having your own time, it's never there.
Okay.
Obviously, as they grow up, as they grow older, then you become more free because at least they can help around.
Yes, they can help around.
They can help around and makes your life easier too. But it's not an easy thing at all.
Yes.
So one of the things that I always kind of look at people in Kenya and wonder, wow, you should visit the UK and live there, is when people fuss about house girls.
Oh, wow.
That they didn't do this, they didn't do that.
Yeah.
And at least 90% of the work has been done. By them.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking you should be, you know, if you're back there, you'll be doing the 100%.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
So you're fussing about a 10%.
Yeah.
And, you know, but then again, different cultures.
Different cultures.
Yes.
And of course, probably also the money issue. Maybe they feel I'm paying for it, I should get the best service. But of course, we need to be human enough.
Of course.
Yeah, we need to be human enough.
Yes.
Yeah, because they are equally people, and housework is not easy.
It's not easy because
it's not easy, especially in our kind of era. Maybe you don't have all those appliances, and I believe that's what you sell. The appliances, like you have washing machines and all that. Yes. Somebody can come to your store and buy, and definitely, yeah, their back will be better.
Of course.
But I'm imagining somebody who can't afford it, and they have to get somebody to do it manually. By the end of the day, that person is exhausted.
Of course.
Very exhausted.
Yes.
So is there any lesson that you learned that probably a mother watching us can learn about motherhood in the UK? Yes. Like you, when you are raising your children? Yeah.
I would always say it's okay to get your hands dirty doing all those work.
Yes.
Because one day they will grow up.
Wow.
Mine have grown up and I can travel the world without having to fuss about them.
Oh,
okay,
great.
they are still babies, but at least I can have that breathing space.
Yes.
And that me time that I never got, I'm able to get it today.
You have it all by yourself.
I have it.
Yeah.
No regrets. I had them young.
Yeah.
But here we are. So never get tired to get your hands dirty. Never get tired to spend time with your children. Because those are the memories that you both share.
Wow.
And as they grow up, they'll always remember, Mommy used to do this and that. She used to bake with me. She used to run around with me. You know, today I have no one to run after.
Wow.
They're all grown and...
I feel you.
Yes.
I feel you. Yeah.
So every time you do something, just know it's for a season.
Yeah.
Nothing lasts forever.
It's true.
Seasons come and go. Seasons change.
Yeah.
So just accept your position where you are as a mother. Yeah. And one day you'll be free.
Great. What was the role of the father in the children's life? And probably that you would impact another father. I realize in God, just even fathers watch what they can do to make their children's lives better, and of course be a blessing to the mother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, as we talk of culture differences, one of the things that I've noticed here in Kenya, fathers don't spend enough time with their children. And even if they do, half of it is not quality time.
Yeah.
In the UK, fathers spend a lot of quality time with their children. Wow. Remember, we don't have domestic workers there. So therefore, it is the mother and father to bring up the children. Yeah. And they equally do the same job. Yeah. So
change diapers.
Exactly. They
do homework.
Do the homework, sing them lullabies, bath time.
And I know they are big on that. You have to read a storybook and lullabies and all that.
Exactly. Yeah. Give them a bath. The fathers do. Oh, yeah. I mean, here it's such a big deal to find a father taking their child to the bath.
I know.
Yes, but it's things that do. And all these, obviously, they come, you know, it's all about bonding with your children.
It is true.
So fathers need to spend a lot of time with their children here in Kenya. It's not about taking them to the bath or anything like that, but quality time. Do an activity. Yeah. Spend some time, because those are the memories that the children will cherish forever.
And even you as the parent, when you look back, you will say, I thank God I spent all the time with them. Yeah, wow, what a wonderful story we are hearing. As we get into the next phase of her life in Germany, her life now in Britain, and as a mother, and now she is back in Kenya. As you can see, we are in Nairobi. So we'll get to know what are the ups and downs she went through in the transition period from a foreign country to now her motherland. And that is the core of our story. Don't touch that dial. It's Reverend Ruth Wamoyo again, and my guest is Maggie Ndungu, an entrepreneur. Don't touch that dial. See you after the break. Welcome back, our viewers. It's gorgeous time again where we talk about women, our stories, and just share it as it is to empower, to encourage, and to motivate somebody. And my guest today again, you're most welcome, and I'm so happy to hear your story. Thank you. Now you're in the UK. How long did you live in the UK? And now you're here.
Yes. Yeah. In all, I've lived there for 22 years. Yes. But I've been back and forth. Okay. Throughout the 22 years, I was back and forth to see my family. Yes. And also to see what opportunities that are here in Kenya. Yes.
Great. So what probably like right now are you like totally in Kenya most of the times?
I am here most of the times. Yes. However, I still travel back and forth. Definitely. First and foremost, my family is still there. My children are still there. Yes. Two, the sort of business I do requires me to go very often. Okay. So I would go like 3-4 times in a year.
Okay.
Yes.
That is at least manageable.
Yes,
that
it
is good.
Yes.
So your kids are big now?
They are big, but they also come a lot. So
oh, they do.
We always exchange. If I'm not there, they are here.
Okay.
You know, when they're on school holidays, they come and, you know.
How old are they?
As often I can go. 13, 17, 20.
Oh my goodness, you are not aging at all.
Yes.
20, 17 and 13. So the younger one is the one who is in school.
Yes.
Oh, how great.
Yes.
So at what point did you decide you want to relocate, and how was the transition?
Yes.
Kindly take us through that journey of transition, because there are many people who are watching us in diaspora, and I've had so many of my friends, and it's never easy to come from a foreign country and come to your own country, because in 20 years so many things have changed. Yeah.
One of the biggest things I can talk about is when you're starting to relocate here, one has to have something that they'll be doing.
Yeah.
Because back there you're used to running around.
Yes.
You just can't come straight away and have a life of not doing anything. And it's not even good for the body and for the mind either.
Yeah.
So I tried to start several businesses, which some failed, obviously, because, you know, one has to learn the culture, one has to learn how things are done.
Yes.
One has to have the right people.
So what are the challenges you faced? Now, let's talk about those ones that failed.
Yes.
Though it's a sad thing, but I believe you always, in life, you learn lessons.
Yes.
So what are the things, the challenges that you faced?
A lot of it is entrusting people to run the businesses for you.
Okay.
Because, and especially, this happens especially if you have not decided to come back fully.
Okay.
If you have some strings pulling you the other end, and you have to keep going back and forth, and very often you'll find that you'll need someone that you need to entrust on the business.
Yes.
And a lot of times with the ones who fail you. Because back there you kind of work a lot with trust.
Yes.
Because people there, it's a virtue, and a lot of people work with it.
Yes.
But unfortunately here in Kenya, I think only a small percentage have it.
Yes, and we are really Christian. Unfortunately, we are getting there.
That's the way it is. Yeah. So
actually, honesty and trust.
Yes. So if you leave your business with such a person, you'll definitely go down.
Yeah.
But what do? You learn from it and try another way. So this time around, 2 years ago, when I came back, I knew exactly what I was doing. Somehow I knew what I was doing. And so I decided most of the time I will be here and working for myself.
Okay.
And then also employ the right people. And that's what I do now.
Okay.
Yes.
So what do you sell?
I sell new UK goods. I don't have a thing about these used goods that they're all over flooded in our market.
Yes.
I actually think they are okay, but they are not something I would like to work with.
Okay.
So I sell new UK goods. They range from home, anything in the home, and in the garden.
Oh, how
So
nice.
in the home, it would be from kitchenware, kitchen appliances, seats, cabinets, bathroom stuff. When you go to the garden, it will be things like lawn mowers, garden seats, garden tents. So basically, I work with home and garden.
So why did you settle on that? Because I believe many people are big on real estate, like buy land, build rental houses.
Yes.
Why that?
In doing even as that, because I still do that, but like I said, you have to have something that
will keep you going.
Keep you going, something hands-on, and that's me. I'm a hands-on person, so I would not settle simply because there's a building somewhere that's generating some money. What do I do every day? I don't want to sit down. I can't collect rent every day.
Yeah.
So I had to do something aside. And basically, it's an opportunity that I saw in the market that a lot of people are bringing in used, very old stuff in the UK. And I thought, again, I'm not a fan of the Chinese products that we're having here in Kenya. They could appear new, but obviously they're not of quality.
The quality,
So I knew the UK standards. A lot of people like the UK standards, be it cars or whatever it is. The UK standards is set apart from the rest of the world. So I saw that market, and that's what I started working with.
Great. Wow. So how has it been since the 2 years? What is so different that you've seen from when you left? Maybe there is no much, probably at that age when you left, when you were young, but you are coming back and forth.
Yes.
What was, like, when you come from this country to another, there is a change of culture. What are the changes that you saw in this nation that probably you can bring to our attention? Because we live here. For us, we may not be able to see them. But you, at least you go and come back.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is a lot I can talk about, not in a good way.
Yeah. Okay, just say it as it is.
But they are there and they're evident, not only by me, but I'm sure by anybody who travels out there.
Yeah.
First and foremost, our roads are chaotic.
Yes.
Our driving is, I cannot find the words.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Our driving is terrible.
Yeah.
We don't obey the rules.
Yeah.
They are there, but I don't know whether it's by default, but people just choose to ignore the rules.
Yeah.
People are so rude on the roads, as in even giving each other way is a big deal. And sometimes you're not even going anywhere. You're just moving on to block the next car, but it's there.
Yeah.
But I thank God because Kenya is taking a different direction. As the country grows, people are also changing their mentality.
Yes.
It's like when you go to the banks and you're queuing up and then suddenly somebody decides, oh, I'm in a hurry, and jumps like 5 people in front of you and stands there as if he's done nothing.
Confidently.
Yes,
so
confidently I've done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
It's things like that. They are so different, People should be more polite.
Yes.
And just know that, everybody's in a hurry.
Yes.
But you can't all go pushing each other. And obviously, even so many things, like you see, so many people are dying of poverty and I believe our country, we are able to help such people.
It's true.
But I also think we dwell on matters that are not so important and leave the things that are so important. Nobody addresses those things. People are dying every day on our roads.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is carelessness.
It is true.
A lot of people drinking when they are drunk. Those are things that you'd never, ever, ever find somebody drinking and driving back in the UK.
Wow.
You cannot. In fact,
is it that the laws are, what makes it not easy for you to drink there?
Because the systems work.
Okay.
Correct. Every system that has been put in place there works. If the law says you cannot drink and drive, if they catch you, your license is gone.
Okay.
And if your license is gone, how do you go to work? How do you ferry your family around? How do you do your shopping?
Yeah.
Where do you go? It's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Because you need a car to
You
survive.
need a car. You cannot
Maybe because
have a
we
car
have
there.
alternatives here. I can walk, can take a boda,
Yes.
can take a matatu.
Yes.
So then if I break the rules, you take away my license. Life continues.
It's not a big deal.
Life continues. But I believe we are getting there.
Yes.
Our country is really moving forward and we are praying that God will restore that order. And actually, it is even far much better. A few years back, it was more chaotic.
Yes.
But we thank God for where we are. So in business, what are the challenges that you faced that probably and overcome that somebody watching us would also want to emulate what you're doing? For instance, I had a friend of mine who was telling me when she relocated, one of the greatest challenges that everybody thought is that they came with a lot of money. So even something that costs an amount of money, it would be doubled because they believe where in the US or in the UK where they are, people collect money. There is a lot of money, free giveaways.
Yes.
So what are the major challenges you face doing business? Yeah.
Yes, you're right. The first time I came, people thought I'm made of money.
Yes.
It's weird. After working 2 jobs,
Yeah.
people think I'm just made of money.
Yeah.
But yes, my business has been very challenging. Again, as I started this business, I actually didn't know exactly what I'm getting myself into. I was coming to do a wholesale business.
Yeah.
So bring in goods and sell them at wholesale so that I'm more flexible to go. But when I arrived here and started the shop, I realized most people would not buy in wholesale because a lot of people don't have the money to do that.
Yeah, it's a lot of capital to begin.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I had to go the retail way. Now, going the retail way meant that I had to have consignments coming in back to back.
Oh,
so one is arriving, one is leaving.
Oh, wow.
Otherwise, you'll have an empty shop.
Okay.
See?
Great.
So that means I had to inject a lot of money to do that back to back. You're factoring in, buying the goods, shipping, clearing.
And there is a lot of variety of goods.
And it's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, they come in big consignments of 40 foods.
Wow.
So you can imagine doing 40 foods. One on its own is crazy.
Yes,
but to do them back to back, it's madness.
Yes.
So financially, it was a big deal. But I was determined not to give up.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had tried before other things, given up. So this time around, I knew I would not give up. It has not been easy. A lot of times I've pulled my hair out.
I know.
With the frustrations of our port here, like again, systems issues.
Okay.
So at the port here, systems seem not to work. They decide not to work on you someday, and they don't.
The systems fail. Sometimes when your container is not,
it's just a big issue.
It's just a big issue.
It's a big issue.
Great.
It never seems to be straightforward.
Okay.
So sometimes you use a lot more money than you expected, than you had budgeted for, or than your business allows you to. But through it all, I thank God that even in the days that I cried, because I cried a lot,
yes.
you know, getting it to where it is.
Yes.
Pulled my hair a lot, frustrated so much, wanting to give up again. But I have a very good partner who's very, very encouraging.
Okay.
And, you know, encourages me a lot and makes me not to think about giving up.
Yeah.
And we started pursuing it. And basically my business has grown from that to, you know, consignments every other month.
Great.
Our clientele is huge.
Great.
We are now known because we do a lot of marketing. My partner is very good at marketing.
Great. You have a local partner here?
Yes.
Great.
Yes. So we are known now. And again, I also wanted a situation whereby when you walk into a warehouse, you'll find something that you want.
Okay.
Because our goods are so assorted.
Yeah. Which
means, again, you're using a lot more money.
I know.
A lot more money. However, the biggest challenge comes back in the UK. Yeah. Because these goods have to be loaded by someone. They have to be supervised by someone. Unfortunately, that happens to be me.
Oh,
and
my
so
goodness.
The weather there, like now, it's on the extreme.
Yes.
It's basically snowing.
Yeah, we've seen it.
Yes.
It's really snowing.
So how do you load up a consignment when it's snowing or when it's raining? You know, the weather there seems to be on the extreme. It's either too hot or it's raining over or it's snowing. Yeah. So in such conditions, it's very, very difficult. Yeah. And that's the point you think, what am I doing? I know. It's because you can't trust people to load up for you. Okay. They'll load up the wrong items the wrong way. They won't fill the container, and it doesn't matter how much you fill it. It's still the same price. It is still the same price. Great. You know, there are times that we would load, and all of a sudden it's raining, and everything is rained on, and it's in the yard and it's open. Wow. So those are the challenges that we face. But through it all, I never look forward to that. But through it all, I come back and, you know, after we do the sales, I can smile and say, you know, it's good and it's the Lord's doing. Great. So what has been, I think as we wind up, you're going to talk about what has given you strength to come through. And probably in that camera, you can talk to that woman who feels, I want to do business, but I don't know where to begin. Encourage them. Tell them it can be done. If you did it from the age of 13 till now, just a word of encouragement. Now, one of the things that I did when I came back to Kenya is give the young people an opportunity. Yeah. Such that they are able, you know, there are people who have got 100,000, 200,000 in their pockets or can get that kind of money. I come and sell them that amount of goods. And they can go and either sell online or on social media platforms, or for those who have got shops, they are able at least to start a business with very little capital. And I give them fair prices because, you know, they are young people. Wow, great. And it's a stepping stone. Yeah. But for those who are trying new in business, don't give up just because something is not working. Yeah. You know, I read something when TD Jakes was saying that many people have the urge to quit. Yes. And most of the time is when you're near your breakthrough. Oh, yeah. That is when it comes. Yes. Maybe it's a test to see how much you can persevere, how much of a patient person you are. And that is when people give up. That's true. So I encourage people out there who are new in business or who are starting in business or those who are going through a rough time, persevere, do not quit. And if you've made any mistakes, let those mistakes be your stepping stone. Great. Overcome them. Try and overcome them. And in all have faith, in all pray. Yeah. And if you do all those things, God surely comes through. Cry out to God. Amen. And he hears. Great. He's heard it for me and he can hear for you too. That's true. So that's so the young people that probably they will be interested, where can they find you? We are located at Kiambu Road, the Ndegwa, next to Quickmart.
Yes.
We are M&R UK Goods outlet. Our hashtag is super cheap deals, and that's what we do.
Oh, great.
Super cheap deals, yes.
Great.
You come there and you'll get the cheapest item in Nairobi, if not in Kenya, I believe in Kenya.
So like with 100,000, you can begin a business?
Yes, you can.
Great.
You can. We have a lot of people who are doing that now. And it's an opportunity. You know, you're not being asked for millions.
Yeah.
People can, even 2 or 3 people can start with that kind, contribute and start with that kind of money. And a lot of people are doing it.
Wow, great.
Again, we have people who come there and say, can I take photos and sell on social media? Fair enough. Take photos, go sell.
Wow.
Bring the money, take the goods. Well, I don't care how much you go and sell it for.
Yeah.
That's your catch.
Wow, that is so good, empowering the youth.
Exactly.
And I believe as women, God is calling us to be more sensitive. Because sometimes when we make it, we don't want to help that other woman who is down there, or that young child that is down there. So I believe the spirit of giving is what our guest today is encouraging each woman. That no matter what you face, overcome your challenges, but be a blessing to someone else. Sometimes money will take you through corners. Sometimes it's there. Sometimes it's not. She's told us that make sure that even when you feel the urge to quit, don't quit. It's a gorgeous show, and I'm Reverend Ruth Wamoyo. I've enjoyed my moment talking to an entrepreneur, and of course a lady that have been through it all and is still moving on. And as she has said it, anchored in prayer and faith in God. It was such an awesome time to have you with me. Continue writing to us your feedback, and in case you want to be a guest in this show, all the handles are there. You can SMS us and we'll gladly have you on board. God bless you. See you again, and may the Lord's favor be upon you. Amen.